Beloved, welcome back to the shop. In today's video, we're going to be starting from scratch, kitting out our Premier Body Armor ballistic helmet, getting everything set up for night vision, lanyards and such, as well as doing a few improvements on my traditional carbon bump here from MTEK. There's a couple things on here that I've not been very happy with. They're not working out very well. My good friend from Microbat sent me an amazing care package. He's got a business that has all of the cool stuff for these helmets, and we have, well, let me show you. Welcome to the world of night vision. we have enough here to equip the entire war band. So if this is new to you, primarily, I guess what is the main reason for this stuff is accessories for night vision. Now, when you have a helmet, they are pretty well balanced and they feel pretty good, but when you start hanging a bunch of weight on them, like dual tubes, then they become very uncomfortable. Getting your helmet right and custom tailored to your body, to your needs, is one of the most challenging things, and there's a lot of trial and effort. There's a lot of things going on here, and if it's not comfortable, it really makes your life miserable. Do you need a helmet? Absolutely. You need a carbine, you need body armor, and you need a tactical helmet. Night vision, optional. It's expensive, I get that, but it's always should be the goal, in my opinion. You would be at a tremendous disadvantage without night vision if you're going up against those who do have it, for sure. I've learned that from my own personal experience. So just to kind of break down what's going on with a helmet, you're going to have some sort of hearing protection. Many different good brands. I've got Comtacs. Comtacs now are going to tie in to our radio systems, our push-to-talks for our digital radios, and this is how the warband communicates. This here is a quick attach. This will plug into a push-to-talk. You've all seen this before, but boom mic, and then a really good suspension system. I mean, that's really kind of the core of the whole thing. You can go crazy with this stuff. You can add aftermarket lights, administrative lights, like we have this little Princeton right here. This is an M-LOK rail, meaning it receives the same accessories that your M-LOK, that your forward guard or your hand guard on your M4s would be. You can put pieces of rail, for example. One thing that I run on mine is a light that points up. This is very nice that if you walk into a room in your house, by putting this on, you get a nice refracted light that bounces off the ceiling without hot spots, and it illuminates an entire area. So a lot of the accessories and such that you're going to already have, you can work into your helmet. But what we're working on today primarily, let's start with the counterbalance. So since I have dual tubes and they're pretty heavy with this mount, actually let's weigh these and see what these come in at. The dual tubes with the Wilcox mount, that's coming in 1.5 pounds. 1.5 pounds. Now I have, mama, we don't need your fat cat on here. My old counterbalance, which has been too heavy, yeah, that's over 1 pound right there. So I'd like actually something a little bit less than that. This is not helpful. So what we have here is we've got a large one, the small one, that's just under 0.5 pound, and the big one, 0.65. So probably that's closer to the market. I might even rob some weight out of the other ones and fill this in, but we'll start with this. I think that this is going to be about the right size. Since we've decided on the larger one, we have to pick a color. What should we go with? Should we go with multicam? Whatever ones I don't use, I'm going to kick that down. Brian loves multicam. Or should we go with the M85? Is that what that is? God's camo? Let's go with the green. We're all Ranger green around here. And so these kits from Microbat come with some shock cord and these little clips right here, which I have never seen before, but it looks to me, these helmets are all kind of different, and there's no right or wrong really with them, and so this looks like kind of a universal kit that you can make adapt with pretty much any helmet configuration. So let's go with this and see how this is going to work out. I think this is a pretty cool counterbalance system because this has a zipper in it that you can add or take away. You're not really locked into anything. These are all, of course, everything made in the USA by my friends at Microbat. I am very happy with the construction. It looks super, super nice. Velcro on the back. So we want to keep this thing as low towards the back and low profile as possible. And the way that those ball bearings are made it in there. Look how nice that bends around. That's going to follow that contour of that helmet. And I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I kind of mocked one up here, but it seems to me that these little clips actually just can pretty much go anywhere. So I guess wherever you can grab, wherever we can grab something. The Velcro in itself is nearly enough. That looks pretty good right there to support it, but I guess just having a little bit extra. It's kind of a trial and error here, but I'm thinking probably something like this here. Does that seem about right to you? You know, actually with this M-lock on here, the better place would be to hook it right inside of here, inside this M-lock. But I've got one piece, one of those spots taken up by rail. Yeah, that would be the ideal. Actually, I don't use this, and I've been considering getting rid of it, and I'm going to do that right now. You think I could remember where I put my tools? I'm going to go with a different lighting system. Anyway, okay, so if we do that, now that looks like that's going to give us a much better purchase point for that clip. That locks in there good, and we can do something more like this here. Scissors. You want to burn the ends of this stuff or it will fray. That looks pretty good. Pretty low profile. I suppose we could even add, there's probably room to add some more in there, but I think that it feels about right. I wanted about half of what I had on there, and I don't mind that at all. I think that looks pretty good. Little fun fact, those of you guys who carry Surefire EDC lights, if you are into night vision, did you know you can get a dual purpose IR head that screws right onto the backup? So this is the normal backup head. This is my everyday carry light, but check out how cool this is. So this is the KM1E, and it's a 3-position. So you can turn it to off right there. So no matter what you do, it won't trigger it, but it has an IR mode right there. Next up, we want a really reliable lanyard system for the dual tubes. Now, on the front of these are Harris's here, there is these cutouts right here to receive the lanyard. So you have these, there's a dovetail mount right there that locks in to the helmet mount. This is a Wilcox. Pivots down so you can see them. And this is kind of designed, a lot of these helmets, so I think most of them have these little bungee cords on there. These are kind of intended to lock in there and to keep this whole system from bouncing. It makes a big difference. Now, as I said, this is a breakaway mount, so that if you get hung up, this will snap off. It doesn't break, but it comes loose so you don't tear your head off. It's a safety feature, but it can come off in brush and then you lose your nods, which you certainly don't want that. So we need to attach these in a way where we can easily. It does two things. It prevents them from falling off and also gives a little bit of support to take this away. I'm certainly not the expert on this, but I do believe these are the lanyards. And this is a great design. A much more, it's a system that you can take off very quickly, and what you have here is an adjustable. You can adjust it according to how much tension you want to, and these really nice night vision style clips, which are not going to come loose. Now, I have had problems with these. Do you see these little holes here? These clips, it seemed to be almost too big for them, and they get, well, that one actually fits perfectly. But I think that these D-rings are included. I see some of the guys running these D-rings in there because it just gives you a little bit more, it seems to bind up a little bit. So let's do that. Let's actually install 2 of these in there, and then we'll use this hook to clip to the D-ring and see if that doesn't work a little better for us. I've never seen black D-rings before. They're always chrome or stainless steel. These are really nice, and they're really heavy duty. When you're doing your D-rings, of course, your best friend is an O-ring pick. These will destroy your fingernails. If you take an O-ring pick in there, and there's a good chance that I will stab myself, so watch for that. See how you can kind of get those open a little bit? That is a very stiff and robust O-ring. Yeah, that's going to be a lot better. I found that those little clips, they really bind up, especially when you're flipping these things from down to up, and they're always binding up. I guess we'll just go with the standard theme here, and the Ranger green. What do you think, Mama? Do you prefer the? I think Microbat knew my helmet color, so they sent me a pair of green ones here. Those look pretty nice. Aren't those nice? This is all made in the USA, gentlemen. This is not an endorsement. This is a friend of mine who makes good products, and I want to help out. That's why I do this, and I share this, because I want to support guys that are starting small businesses, and I think it's important. But it's very nice stuff. Velcro on there. Now, well, let's take it over there and we'll mount them up. I'll show you how they work. Okay, if I've got this right, seems to me, see those clips have retainers on them. These are just going to stay on the nods, like this here. Now, when these go on here, this is going to stick on the Velcro on the side of the cover, and now we can pull tension on those whatever we want to. Now we'll tie a knot in this when we're done, but not until we cut it to length and see how things are working out here. But this is very, very clever. This is a really nice setup here. Clean. And when you want to take them off, you want to store them in your pouch, you're not having to unbuckle something. You can just rip these things off right there. Nice. All the hardware looks very intentional. Look how cool the green, I don't know, stop lock or whatever you call these are. But now, if we rotate these down, I'm going to rotate these down so you can use them. See, just right there, rotating them in, change the tension on this. So that's why you can see these are adjustable. Now, when this folds down, again, they're looser, so we can put the amount of tension we want. Now, those are holding that, that's going to keep that from bouncing. And if it, oops, didn't lock my thing in there. That's going to keep that from bouncing. And if these break away, yeah, that feels good. I just want to make sure there's no conflict, whether they're up or down. And it looks good. I don't see anything getting in the way. Very nice. Now, when if this were to break away, or you want to take these off, for example, you see they're retained to you. You know, even if that dovetail comes loose, or if this snaps off, hooks on a branch, these are going to be retained by 2 straps, and you're not going to lose them. That's why that is so important. And then when you're done with them, the mount typically is going to stay on the helmet. When you're done with them, these can stay here. And for example, like this is the storage bag that I carry mine in. This could be woven on your battle belt. It's got the MOLLE on the back, but even they inside have a Velcro strip in there, so that just for extra measure, you can clip those lanyards in there when you stow it. And now, if the bag were to get opened, because this here is going to be hard fastened to your kit. If this were to come open and get snagged on something, you've got an extra layer of protection where that's going to be lanyarded, and you can simply come off and back on your helmet. So that's a very, very clever system. That's the best I've ever seen. Very, very happy with that. And I think that these D-rings, or these split rings, that's definitely the solution. Actually, let's finish off these lanyards. So that's kind of about the tension that I want on there. So you want to tie a knot in this, or you'll lose your toggle. Give myself a little bit of extra there. I don't need to be greedy. All right, gentlemen, who's smart? Now, Wilcox is the owner and founder of Microbat. He didn't send any instructions. So first off, there is this. There's only one of them, and I don't have any idea what it is. You know what I'd like to have, Will? Here, can I tell you? Can I ask you for a product? What I'd like to have is a Velcro mount that I could quickly slide my EDC IR light in. I thought that's what this was going to be for a moment, but I don't think so. And snap on here in a pinch, right? But I don't know what this is. I have no idea what that's for. So that's one thing. The second thing is that this looks pretty cool too, but I have no idea what this is. This is I don't know. It comes with alcohol pads. The packaging is super slick. But what is it? I don't know. Is it for batteries? Is this for a flashlight? I think that if these loops are too small, you could get batteries in there. Is that for this? This is stretchy, and this is not stretchy. I think it's made to go like this, but what would that be for? What would that be for? I have no idea. Let me know if you can figure that one out, because I don't know. And then the third thing are these. These are really cool little lanyards. They're non-shock cord, but with these excellent D-rings in it. And it appears to me to be, I don't know if you needed to create a lanyard or loop something to get an attachment point, is what I'm guessing. I just don't know. I don't know what those are for or how I would use those. But I don't feel like I'm lacking anything. This really is, I mean, the helmet setup is the way that I want it. The only thing I would probably add, you know, the little Princeton light is nice. There's a white, I always forget the interface. There's a small white light and a red light, which is for just hands. One thing when you're with night vision is you can't see close-up work because of the depth of field. So this is very handy for little detailed work, you know, working out something on your rifle or what have you. But it's not a proper light. So you're going to have an illuminator, you know, on your carbine, which is going to have basically like an IR flashlight. But it would be really nice to have some way to mount the EDC light here with the IR option, where I'm always going to have this on me, so I could turn that to white to IR. And man, if I could have something that was Velcro, where I could reach up and turn that off and on, that would be very, very nice. So just an idea. If you can work on that, get me a prototype, and we'll do a continuation. But so far, I think that really, the whole system here it's really good. While I've got the scale out, let's see what the whole thing weighs. Mama, you're getting fat, 7.5 pounds. Oh, I know. Let's see if does it weigh as much as a cat. Now this is with everything on it, 5.4. That's pretty heavy, but there's a lot of stuff on there. This is actually very light. This is a pretty good setup. Why I primarily use the bump helmet, the carbon bump helmet, instead of the ballistic is weight. This one is I don't know, a pound heavier or so, which is exceedingly lightweight for bulletproof. If you were enter into a kinetic environment, isn't that the term they use? Of course, all of this is going to go on here immediately because I don't have enough to double everything up, so we have to make choices. But for now, that's what I run, just for the lightweight, and I don't need no one shooting at me, thank goodness. All right, one final walk around. This is the way it's configured. The dual tubes are nice. These Harrises, when you flip them up, they automatically turn off, which is a nice feature. So you can run them this way, which makes them a whole lot less low profile. I know Brian's got a PVS 14, which is more in this footprint here, and it is a snag hazard, especially in the trees. That little bit right there makes a big difference. And you can also flip these down, make sure everything fits. You can run them like this here as well. You can run one down. But a great system. I've used it a lot, and it's really getting dialed in. But it takes a long time. It's taken a year to adjusting pads and adjusting this and that, and to get it so that it's comfortable and usable. But I find whether it's on a motorcycle or a quad or just walking around, this is a very good setup. And the addition of that, the new counterbalance is better than the one I had before. I like that better. I think it looks nicer and is cleaner, and those lanyards are very, very nice. All right, that's it, gentlemen. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers, and we'll see you on the next video.